So yeah, really, it's just for the crit immunity. So I don't actually really need the poison tincture. It's more there for style than anything. If I was really smart, I'd probably use the cull. I'd probably switch this out for cull. I would get more out of it, I think. But because I'm using this one, I can technically say I'm a poison 20 build. You know, more in favor of the argument that it's an off-meta build. I get to argue that more easily now. Why not switch the Ascendancy to John? I'm going to be real with you. The biggest reason why I don't want to switch is because I fucking love this Ascendancy point. I fucking love this. If you've never played with this, you do not know what you're missing. You should be able to see in my maps, Legions are a godsend with this thing. I get to pull out every single Legion Sergeant and boss, or virtually all of them, so easily and without messing it up. And in Crimson Temple, it's extremely useful. Extremely useful, because in Crimson Temple, you hit the pylon, you don't even know if they spawned north, west, east, south. You don't even know. You have to, like, just guess. Not me. I hit the Legion pylon, I immediately know which two directions to go. I don't even have to look at the angles or whatever, you know. I don't even have to look at anything. You just see it immediately on my mini screen. It's so good. And normally when I play a build like this, it's extremely dangerous to put Legion bosses in the map when you go around killing stuff and then you don't actually finish them off, or they're not dead for some reason. You go back through the map looting and they just ruin your day. That hardly ever happens to me now, because they show up with this bright-ass brown icon when they're up. It's like, oh, there's a fucking big-ass Legion boss right there on my mini-map. He's still up. Let me go kill him while I still got 40 Headhunter buffs, instead of continuing to move off, you know, into the distance, come back later, and then can't even loot a quarter of the map because he's sitting there guarding everything and I got no buffs, right? That plays it. I can't even tell you how many times that's played itself out. And that's especially true, and that's on other leagues when the game's like 10 times easier. This is on this league, this league with this difficulty. I want that shit. Now, if I wasn't doing Legion, I don't think it's quite as useful. Although, however, it is really good for Abyss too, because the Abyssal Spire shows up as brown. Now, if I'm paying attention, I can see the thing drain down or whatever. But I don't know, man. If I'm doing like super thick Jungle Valley Abyss farming, it's going to be kind of hard to see that spire come up every time. It'd be really useful to be able to just look at the mini-map and, oh, there's the brown icon show up, you know, to know for sure that it's up. And I can see if it's still up. Like, if I move away and I can see it. Spire visibility is nice too, yeah, for sure. Very useful there. But I think the biggest use is for Legion. The second biggest use is, honestly, the second biggest use is just for general rares. So I'm fishing for Headhunter buffs, you know, I'm moving around. Yeah, I'm just moving around stuff on the map, and I'm like, oh, I need to get some Headhunter buffs. Where are the rares? I don't have to like put on my freaking binoculars and try to find rares in this game, you know, which you can't see anything. I can just look at the mini map. You just look at the mini map. Boom, it's there. I can see all the rares. Oh, I say, oh, there's a pile of 5 rares way off over there in the distance. Let me go kill them, get 13 Headhunter buffs, and I'll be on my way. Super useful for that. One of you guys mentioned, Danny, you mentioned, that's absolutely right. I almost forgot. In the woods, this becomes a literal map hack in the woods. You know, so people who are using charms can actually see, like, shrines in the distance, for example. When you're navigating through, you can see the next event way in advance because you see the shrine spawn there. Imagine having that hack for everything. So I can see rares that spawn, a big ass pile of rares that spawn in the woods. That's probably a big rare event. Don't want to miss that, obviously. So I can, you know, if I'm like moving around something, I can pinpoint that down and see where it is. Sometimes it's uniques because it'll be like, for example, the blue event, quest event is a unique mob, right? It's a blue unique mob, drops the big wisp thing. I can see that guy in the distance too. Extremely valuable. So yeah, let that be known. You're missing out if you're not using this. So that's one major case for the Warden. I'm a big fan of this. Now, I do wish yellow juice is fine. People crap on yellow juice. I think they underestimate its value. It's obviously great for divination cards. It's good for everything. I don't really care if it makes the mobs faster and hastier. Occasionally it causes problems in conjunction with beyond mobs. If I'm trying to ramp up Headhunter buffs, it can be an issue. But it's not going to make all the difference in the world getting extra yellow or whatever. Extra yellow is fine. if I had everything my way, I'd be collecting extra blue dust. Okay, so Primalist got that. They got that on me. They get extra blue dust. That's pretty much the only thing I really lament about not having the Primalist, is that I'm getting extra yellow instead of extra blue. That's about it. Once I get a 1 passive voices, I'll have the blind thing solved. The blind and phasing thing solved. It would be nice to be able to get blind and phasing easily through charms. Whatever. Like, I got it covered, and I got 2 extra projectiles anyway for the cost of basically 0 in respect to how expensive +1 prog charms are. This is very cheap to do, and fits perfectly in conjunction with my Warlord's Mark cast on crit with my extra 6 flex slot and get Forbidden Right, and I just proc this all the time. So I got +2 prog permanently. Randall says you have enough currency in a build, there's no more losing. You go for quality of life. Yeah, this league's a little tricky. You know, we really do want the power, though. You know, I think that it's an interesting debate. It's certainly an interesting debate, but definitely you can see with how many people are. What did you guys say? 93%. 93% of people. Oh, Danny, you got 5 projectiles. Yeah. You're right. Dude, if I could fit Dying Sun in here, I would. But you know, one of the downsides of the tincture is that I lose a flask. Usually, this is a silver flask with less curse effect on me or something like that. This league, I don't need that because we can get Onslaught so easily. I mean, hell, I get Onslaught right now through Frenzy of Onslaught. You know. Would maybe use Dying Sun, actually. You know, you could use a Jade Flask or Dying Sun. Actually, yeah, I don't know. I think Dying Sun might be an interesting choice as a 5th flask. But you guys do realize I get extra quant and rarity thanks to 30% increased effect here. I get a huge amount, well, not huge, I get 4% increased quant and like 18% increased rarity or something like that. Or 12% increased rarity, I think. I can't remember exactly. But over here, I mean, this is where it's really at. 30% increased effect of Progenesis on a Deadeye. Let me tell you, that is some added survivability. That's something charms aren't getting. Charms are not giving you 30% increased effect of Progenesis. And I will tell you, there's hardly anything in the game more powerful than increasing the effectiveness of your Progenesis flask in terms of survivability. That cannot be overstated. That might, honestly, this might actually be the most powerful thing about the entire Warden choice, is putting a tincture next to Progenesis. That might actually be the most potent thing about it, if I'm being completely honest. This league in particular. So there you go. That's why you might want to consider Warden. Think about it.